Hello, so it's a great pleasure to see you, to have this opportunity to speak about the band, to speak about this new album. The band, it's Frail, and it is Heretic Lullaby. The new album is coming out soon. I try to show it. So you are on Metal Ops TV, on YouTube and everywhere in the world, of course. So perhaps my first question will be very, very simple. Can you present you, who you are, and also a little story of the band, Frail?
Sure, I'm Gwyn,
I'm Sean.
and this is Uriel, and we're from Frayle. Guess you want to tell a little bit about Frayle? We started back in 2018, 2017, 2018, and we started with a EP called The White Witch, and now we're on our third full album and I guess fourth album altogether, Heretics Lullabies.
Out October 10th on Napalm Records.
Yes, this is the first time, the first album on Napalm Record because you just signed with them some months ago. How do you feel on this new label? What does it change? Is it important this sign, I suppose, to be on a huge label like Napalm Record?
It's been amazing. Like
Yeah.
they're the starting from the top, like with the A&R, amazing to work with them. And then the PR and product team has been outstanding to work with. It's so cool to have a team that believes in what you're doing. They let you do your thing, but they also sort of guide you along a little bit, but just in the right way. So, I mean, it's been an outstanding experience so far to be on Napalm.
Yeah, they're very, very supportive. They want to make sure that you um, have your vision as an artist realized. So, and it's their job to do that, and they take that very seriously. And like Sean said, they will guide you, but it's more like in a parent where it's like you can probably do better than that,
Yeah.
right? And I really appreciate that because sometimes we do get a little too comfortable and think, yeah, no, this is good, but I really appreciate that in them. So
In fact, there are lot of actuality because you do many things. The first thing you done, one of the things you done is a little tour. You play in August in many country and town, in UK, in Belgium, in Alcatraz, in Dutchland, a lot of in Dutchland, of course, and Haarlem in Pays-Bas. How was this little tour? How was this little tour? Do you appreciate to be on tour? And how was the reception? Finally, I suppose you play some new songs. How was the reception?
Yeah, the tour, like we love Europe. Any chance we get to go to Europe, we're gonna go to Europe. And the fans are just so hungry for like new things. Like they don't just want to be spoon-fed. They want to take the time to go out and discover things. And I think that our band is has a unique sound. Like it's kind of hard to put a label on us. So I think that's intriguing for fans. And so we see, we played both festivals and like headline shows and the festivals, Gwen likes to equate it to a show to like having, energy in a festival, sort of like one big massive energy versus like when we play our headlining shows at the smaller venues, it's like individuals energy. And it's cool to see those differences and play to those and sort of feed off those. And I think what's nice for us in Europe is it's so far from, where we live, but when we go there, people know the words to our songs and they're there early to get merch and things like that. So that's so, amazing for us to experience that kind of support. And as far as the new songs go, with Napalm doing such a good job of, having that marketing and PR side of them, even the new songs, I think people, would sing along with them. And especially, with Summertime Sadness, it was cool at festivals to see like, oh yeah, you could see people pointing, this is the band that does that song that I was telling you, but like, so it's always great. And the festivals are so professionally run over there. It's amazing. So we're like backstage, right next to like our idols. So it was pretty awesome,
Ah,
you
yeah.
know?
So that's that's cool
Yeah.
to meet your idols. Yes, what I love in the band is the music. Of course, the album is really great. It was a really a great surprise, and also all your universe because you get something very special with the mask, with the decoration, all that you get on stage. So how is born finally this idea to get this sort of visual very important for the band. Really, we see it on the cover, on everything. And is there also something with the religion, with the submission of the woman? Is there a link between all that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that visuals and the aesthetic part of it are very important for Sean and I. We're both very visual people. The music always and forever comes first. But to us, it's not done unless we create this visual and this world around it. So it's very important for us to create a world that we invite everybody into, and we hope you can kind of just forget yourself for a little bit and just immerse yourself in the world and become part of that.
Yeah, like Gwen and I both have similar backgrounds. Like we both went to fashion school. So we were taught to express ourselves visually, you know, and
Mhm.
so there's even though we're expressing ourselves through the songs, and I, you know, for both of us, I think that's where most of our pain comes out. But it's just like she said, it's not done. Like we still like have more to say, right? So that's where the visuals come from, and it makes it a lot of fun for us, you know.
Yes, I suppose it was to before to go on stage, and of course for all the visuals, the picture, everything. It's a huge world to put everything like that, and because it's very it's very good. The finishing is perfect, everything is perfect. So is it a huge world before to go on stage to be ready to be like that on stage?
It's a lot of extra work. You know, I've been in a band prior that didn't have any of that, and that was just like plug your guitar in and play, and that's it.
Yeah.
Now there's all this stuff to,
You're
you
not
know,
Nirvana.
yeah, a lot of other stuff, but it like it's so much more fun. It like reinvigorated my love for playing live because it takes it a step further, and like once you're in that world, it's like even to perform it, you get to let go a little bit more, and it feels like empowering, like to stand next to like once the other guys in the band, we have our stuff on and we're standing together. It feels like for us like more powerful, you know, and I've seen this too, like when we played what was it? I think it was Bloodstock. We were doing press, and then Lord of the Lost, another band on Napalm, was right next to us, and they were getting ready to go on, and they had all their stuff. Well, we had just come off, and they were getting ready to go on. They had all their stuff on, and I could see the way that they were walking together, how they felt empowered by having like their stuff on. And I mean, what a great thing! Like music is magic already, so if you can even turn that up by what you have on and make yourself feel more empowered to like share that. I think it's such a cool and interesting thing to do, you know?
Yes, about the image, there is something I would like to know. It's about this image. You get a crown on your head, and I think about the Christ and everything like that. Is there a meaning? I suppose there is something behind all that, and that I don't know the English word that you put on your mouth. Is there a symbol, a meaning behind that?
So I think the facial jewelry for me is more of a way to hide. I always say that the person who writes the music isn't the person who performs the music for me. So it's very difficult to be on stage and tell hundreds or thousands of people your most vulnerable and delicate times in your life, right? So
Mhm.
in order for me to be able to emote and get that across more effectively, it's important that I keep a little piece of myself for me. So that the facial jewelry is my way to kind of, stay back and maintain myself. The crown of thorns, I'm a very, very spiritual person. I was brought up very Catholic. Um,
Mhm.
so I'm, obviously very aware of the symbolism of that. I I rage against organized religion. And if you are in an organized religion, anybody's in an organized religion and it makes them happy and it truly makes them fulfilled, then 100% more power to you. I want you to have, what makes you happy. To me, it symbolizes somebody trying to tell me what to do, but also, if you don't say a prayer before you eat, you're a horrible person. Like all these things that it just doesn't make sense to me. So I truly believe that, while there is a higher power, who knows what that higher power is, right?
Mhm.
Is it an actual deity that sits up there, or is it collective subconscious? Is it, an idea or an ideal that we should strive to? But I think that everybody is a god and we all have it within us. And it's our goal to get as close to that ideal as we can here on Earth. And that's why we're here.
You call this album Heretics and Lullabies. Who are the finalists for you? The heretics of now. Everybody know in the Middle Age what happened. It was really with now when we look with our eyes of 2025, we feel that it was crazy. You can kill everybody for nobody if you are against the religion or if you say something against the religion. But now in our time on 27th, 21st century, who are for you the heretics?
I think this whole album was kind of exploring that, and I think that when we were still doing or finishing up our last album, Skin and Sorrow, that idea just kind of stuck in my head, like what actually is heresy? What's the nature of heresy? Who are the heretics now, right?
Mhm.
Because like you said before, it was very obvious and this is you're a heretic, but if you think about it now, like what is heresy for one person is scripture for another, right? Like if you are a very strong vocal woman in a toxic patriarchy, isn't that heresy as well? So I think this album kind of, was an idea that I had in my head for years, and I just really wanted to fully work it out through the music this time. So
I was all right. If you yes, the last album, Skin and Sorrow, came 3 years ago. So, in which state of mind do you write the new song, and how was the writing of this song? Was it a huge work? Do you think a lot about the song? How was this time compared to the last one you write the song?
So I think for us, it's always sort of the same. Like we're always starting like if you think about a painter staring at a blank canvas, they're trying to think about what in here do they want to put on that canvas. And for us, it's always the same. I would say what's different this time is that as we were staring at that blank canvas, especially for me, I completely shut out the rest of the world musically. Like I didn't want to think about what my influences were or what was happening in the world and what was trendy or, you know, I just wanted to like have a conversation with myself and try to like, exercise whatever demons need to come out, get rid of the pain. It's usually when I'm playing guitar, it's like I'm not playing like, oh, I'm so happy, this is great. It's always something, a way to like it's medicine, is trying to get the pain out. So I think this time it was mostly about forgetting influences, and that's even when you think about like a riff, like if a song is supposed to have a melody, even not caring so much about that. If there's a melody, that's fine, but it's more about like we were talking about like vibes over riffs, like what kind of vibe and what kind of emotion unstructured emotion, I guess, right? That's a good way to put it. So that was the perspective on this one. So I think that the end result of that is us more coming into our own and kind of leaving the influences behind and just making things that we felt good about for each other. Um, and so really coming into our own. And I think that's what so far the reaction has been of people picking up on that, where they're like, it really sounds like you guys took a step forward, and that really is an authentic result of us just trying to focus on an organic exchange of energy that comes out onto a blank canvas and forgetting about like what else is out there. And that's something I think that as an artist you kind of grow into. It's like a journey. I think art is a journey, and I think records are a journey. We definitely would not want to put the same record out 15 times. And so it really is just the culmination, I think, of that. And it hasn't stopped. I mean, since the record hasn't even been out yet, and we have more material than we've ever had in our
Uh-huh.
musical career already ready to go for like another one, because it's
Yes,
just like once you tap
good.
into that, you can't stop.
Yes, when I listen this album, I feel a lot of melancholy, sadness in your music, in your way of singing. Also, of course, you get a special way of singing, very low. From where came that sadness, melancholy? Is there something that you get in your soul?
For sure. I mean, for me, I think that writing this stuff down and writing this music is definitely therapy for me. I always say that I leave my emotions on the tip of my pen. Um, it's a way to, like Sean said, it's a way to exercise those demons and get those emotions out so that they don't eat you alive, kind of thing. I think it's very important to work through these things and um for me, I'm able to do so by writing things down. So I'm very lucky that, that's a big help for me. A lot of people don't have that outlet, um, or haven't found it yet, I guess I should say. So, that's just my way of working through everything. So for sure it's there, and it's just, you have to use it to your advantage and get it out and work through it. So.
There is a lot of single, and the last one is Heretic, and there is two. For this one, there is a video clip who is really splendid. I will say in French, we say magnifique. In
Oh,
French, if you speak a little
merci.
French, I don't know.
Merci
Uh,
beaucoup.
Merci. Yes, the clip is incredible. It's a huge story. It's in a church. How was the captation of this clip? What do you want with all this girl behind and all that universe you create on this clip? It's a little movie because before there is another clip and there are a lot of relation. How was born this two clip with these two single? What was the idea finally? What do you want to show to all the people who will discover the two single?
Um, so you're talking about the two singers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
Heretic and
yeah, and he's also in another song on the record, Boo. Um,
one.
So that's Jason Popson, otherwise known as J-Man from Mushroomhead. They're a band from Cleveland that I've known for a long, long time. Actually, Jason, he had a record label, and he put out the last record that my old band did years ago. And he is just probably maybe our favorite male vocalist when it comes to screaming, like in the world. And he just happens to be also my friend. So it's just
That's right.
incredible to work with him. And he and I had actually done a side project where we were just messing around, and I'd play a heavy song and he would sing on it. And actually, the very first date that Gwen and I ever went on, I played her some of those songs. And she was just like, "Oh my God, this is crazy. Who is this guy?" So it's always been like in the back of our mind to like work with him again. And just the fact that Frail is really sonically about contrast. Like we have like the heavy, sludgy stuff and like the lullaby lilting voice over here. So to then even add to that by putting his amazing low yell voice with Gwen's very delicate voice is again another way to contrast that and add a lot of energy to the track. So it's something that we like to play with where, we can be slow and heavy and have Gwen singing lullabies over stuff, but how do we, if we want to add some energy to it, how can we do that and what can we layer in? And Jason is just like the perfect voice to layer in. And I hope someday that we get to the point where we can bring him on tour with us because that would be fucking sick. So
So,
yeah, he's just a great dude.
so perhaps some special guest on tour one day
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the
it'd be
future.
amazing. Yeah.
Yes, you are a guitarist, but you play many instruments. I see that. How do you finally uh, compose? What is your relation about the voice of Gwyn? How do you write for her to get this special melody, very low, incredible because it's unique, you know. How do you work with Gwyn on the vocal stuff?
Yeah, so
Voice.
what's funny is I don't think about her at all. Like we
Okay.
We don't think about
yeah, and that's what makes Frail good. Like when we first started, we didn't know what we were doing, so we try to like do work more together. And now we found that the best way to get the most out of each other is to not think about the other person and kind of do our own thing and get out of each other's way. That's the most important thing. So like when I'm making the music for it, all I'm doing is focusing on like the layers of, bass, keyboard, drums, guitar, whatever I'm doing and putting that into this, sound and vibe and making that the most authentic I can do without even thinking about what she's going to do. And then when that's, about a third of the way done, she'll come in and say, okay, I like that one and start messing around on her own.
Mhm.
Sometimes with arrangements, I'll change that based on what she's doing. But it is that the overall layers of things don't really change, because of her. I think the only thing that I would do as a reaction to her is sometimes after she's got a part, I'll come in and maybe just like hum a harmony. And she always gets nervous when she sees me singing into a microphone because she's like, "Oh God, what am I gonna have to deal with now?" But like that, I think it doesn't happen all the time, but like Walking Wounded is a good example. Like the chorus of that, there's this like little harmony thing that's floating around under there, and that was just me goofing around on a mic, and sometimes it's total crap, and she doesn't want to hear it. But like that one worked out well, And so after that's done, then Gwen will come in and do her thing, and I don't really get involved in that because what I found is sometimes I'm like, oh, immediately I'm like, I don't know about that. And that ends up being one of the better songs. So like I just stay out of her lane and she for the most part stays out of mine. Although I think she trespasses a lot more than I do.
That's true. That's true.
Yes, Walking
So
Wounded is the first single. Like I said, with these two clip really fantastic. There is also Summertime Sadness. It's the cover of Lana Del Rey. What do you like, especially this artist and this song, especially you choose to cover? There are a lot of she record a lot of great song, very huge song, and she who know who she is. So was it easy to choose a cover from her?
so we knew we wanted to do a cover for the record, so we demoed a few different ones, like from different artists. And this one just sort of fell into place the fastest and the easiest. Like we always struggle with making things sound heavy and spooky when we're covering a song, and it's a lot of fun to take them apart, but sometimes it's like you have to force it too much and it just doesn't work. This one just all, fell into place, and you can tell right away from a pop song if there's going to be a big drop into the chorus and it's going to hit really hard, which is always fun for us to do. So this one just set it up right away, for that kind of thing. And then there's a pause before the first chorus that our producer actually came up with that idea and he sent that back to us. And that's
The
really when,
organs,
yeah,
yeah.
when we knew that like this is it. So it's like it from a demo standpoint, it fell into place, but then from the production and final mixing standpoint, once he threw that in there, we are like, fuck yeah, this is how do we not
This
do
is
this?
magic,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so finally it's a very well adaptation. I think because we are not a shock, really. It's a very great song in your version. Uh, just a question about Gwyn, because there are in fact 10 songs on this album. Is there a text where you feel more, you feel closer, very important for you on this
Yeah,
album?
I think a song for me that is probably me at my most vulnerable, and a song that touches me the most on the album is probably Souvenirs of Your Betrayal. And it's just like opening that emotional floodgate and just letting it go. It's about a past relationship where, it just didn't work out, and it was just crushing.
Mhm,
And so to me, that is probably the song that I guess means the most, or um is the most me at my most vulnerable, on the record. So I think that's probably a song that Sean and I both really like as well. I think it's heartbreaking, and
mhm.
to me, and if I could put that out there, and if someone else has been through it and they need to know that someone has been through it and worked through it with me, or with the music, then gosh, that's, all the better.
Yeah, that song also just lyrically, I think, grabs me the most because, again, when I play music, it's to hopefully get some sort of pain or sadness out. So I'm always looking for that in other songs. And so when I, heard the lyrics for that one, I get to like, it's so powerful to me that I almost get to step outside of being in the band and just look at it from the outside and really like that's, lyrically, that's the song I think for me on this one.
I suppose when you record the song in studio, there are a lot of emotion too, because we feel that when we listen your music, your way of singing. Is it difficult? There is a challenge for you in studio, Win?
Yes, some of them are more challenging than others. I think the hardest song that I've ever had to sing ever was Skin and Sorrow from the last album, and that's because it was fresh from losing, people during COVID, and
Mm.
it was just I was just heartbroken. I knew that I would not be able to perform that song live. I still haven't tried. Um, but I think I've have a little bit more space now. So if we ever decided that we wanted to do it live, I think I probably could.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, sometimes it is very difficult to get through that stuff. And but the benefit of us having a studio on our third floor is I can, if it gets too much, I can pause and go back the next day or later that day if I need to. So
Do you have, I suppose perhaps that you have a new clip for the future? Because we are waiting now, because it's a little movie, like I said, and what will be the next clip, the next songs?
so October 7th.
Yeah, we have another one coming October 7th that we shot, and we're actually in the middle of shooting another one right now for after the record comes out. And as we've been gaining momentum just with the singles, the record hasn't come out yet, but we debuted at number 9 in the US on heavy metal and alternative radio, which is crazy when the record's not even out yet. And so as we've been gaining that momentum, we were a a a very large like video production studio
Mm.
reached out to us and said that they would like to, shoot with us on a video. We always shoot everything ourselves, so, again, a little hesitant to let someone else in, but we feel very confident about adding this element to the next video. So it's gonna, I think Frail's starting to really level up on the storytelling. But that being said, the story will continue to evolve with through all the videos because we just are having a lot of fun with the idea of continuing, reappearing characters and working with the same people we've worked with in the past on the video so far. So the story will continue.
Yes, because there is a red line on this album.
Yeah.
It's, do you think sometimes about you say that the next step you say we do a new video, but the next step will be a movie.
So yeah,
We
we've definitely kicked that around. We also talked about doing that like for every single video, but we've seen other world famous artists, like
Uh-huh.
top selling in the world artists, do something similar. And even with their almost unlimited resources, we thought it got a little like,
contrived.
yeah, boring or I don't know. So it's like the idea sounds cool, but then to execute it in a way
Yeah.
that is authentic and also worthwhile, I guess,
Interesting.
for
Yeah.
the interesting for the audience is very, very difficult. So I think that we settled for the approach to like have a continuing thread through everything, but not try to make like a whole
Yeah.
movie out of it because everyone's got Netflix and everyone binge watches these series that has world-class artists, world-class cinematographers, unlimited, almost unlimited budget. And so the bar is so high for that kind of thing that we don't want to compete with that. We just want to like do what we're good at. But it's always tempting to think about that because wouldn't that be fun? Like it'd be fun, but we're just trying to go one step at a time in a way that feels like we're expressing ourselves in a way that remains authentic and not like jumping the shark, as they say in the US.
Just to finish, a question about who are your heroes? I suppose you are different heroes. Gwyn, I suppose you have some singer, woman or men, who are a huge influence for you at the beginning. Perhaps when you were a child, you discover something special in an artist. Who are your heroes for you?
I think, excuse me, Beth Gibbons from Portishead is definitely a huge vocal hero for me. Her delivery is very vulnerable and beautifully imperfect.
Hmm.
And it just evokes so many emotions that that was kind of my influence when I started singing, is like trying to emulate her, and Alison Shaw from Cranes, another old band that, I mean, just I could just listen to her voice over it, just on a loop in my head. So those were probably my two biggest influences, when I started for sure.
So I have kind of a weird answer for that question because it's not so much like a musical hero, it's more about what really captivates my imagination and inspires me, I guess,
Uh-huh.
to
Yes, yes.
dig deeper and communicate with myself. So there are, I just recently in the past, well, exactly a year ago yesterday, lost several members of my family. My mom, my aunt, my dad, my mom, my aunt passing with one day apart. So like, asking the question about, spirituality and what else is out there. So on YouTube, there are lots of videos of near-death experience of people that have like passed
Uh-huh.
away, then gone through an experience and come back, and then they're telling that story. And these are everyday people. They could be a fireman, they could be a school teacher, it could be a whatever, right? So to me, that's very interesting and like I draw a lot of inspiration and from that and like just wonder about spirituality. And so those everyday people that have those kind of experiences and are able to sort of transcend
Yeah.
whatever um, parameter society has put on them, but to share a genuine story and to do that in hopes of helping someone, right? Which is to me what I'm trying to do musically, but just turned up a lot. Like they've
Yeah.
done
Mm.
something. So I'm very inspired by them, and to me, those everyday people are actually heroes to me. So it's but it makes me want to try harder with my music, right? And get this message out rather than like labeling a musical inspiration for me. I think that is more it's a bigger I don't know impact on me right now to want to create more sonically. So I know it's
Mm.
not like the average answer, but that's just where I'm at right now, just because
Yeah.
of what I've been through recently.
Yeah, yeah, and I understand very well. So, last question, perhaps if you meet somebody who don't know the band and who don't know you, what will you say to this guy or this woman or this girl to present this new album and to present the band?
So I would say, first of all, I'd ask for, have you heard of are you into heavy music? If they say yes, then good.
Yeah.
So think of,
Yes.
think of like Crowbar and the sludgiest guitars you ever heard mixed with Portishead or something very lilting with that really fragile female voice, and then put those together. That's what I would explain it to someone that, has never heard of Frail before.
Yes, that I will say that with this album, it's a sort of travel in a lot of emotion. That's what I feel when I listen this album, really. This album will be, you will say the date is this 17 of
October
October.
10th, October 10th.
Yeah.
10 October on Napalm Record. So thank you very much to be with me, to be on Metal Labs TV, to speak about this album, to speak about all your whole universe. It was really interesting, and thank you very much.
All right. Well, thank you very much. It means so much to bands like us. So we
Yeah,
Thank
appreciate
you.
thank you for taking
Bye.
the time.
Bye bye.
it. Bye.